Welcome to Creative Conversations, where I ask my guests, what does the word creativity mean to you? My name is Nina Lenton. I'm an untangler and coach, and I work with founders and freelancers who have lots of ideas, but aren't making progress on the ones that really matter to them. And I'm here with Frankie Tortora, who is a graphic designer and founder of Doing It for the Kids. Hi, Frankie.
Hi, Nina. How's it going?
All right, yes, you?
Yeah, all right.
Excellent. So far this morning.
Just dropped my kids at school and everyone survived, so.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, would you like to introduce yourself briefly before we get into the important question?
Yeah, quite bad at this. Are all creative people bad at this? So I'm a graphic designer. I've been doing that for 15 years. I work a lot with other freelancers and small businesses and generally arts, organisations, charities, that kind of thing. I do a lot of colour. The people that like colour. There's no boring design around here.
Yeah.
And then 10 years ago I had a baby and was like, oh, I'm a freelancer and having a baby as a freelancer is really hard. And no one seems to be talking about it much. So I ended up starting this platform community space for self-employed parents.
Which is brilliant. It's a platform. I've been a member for a few years, and it's because freelancing is hard and parenting is hard, and when you're trying to do both,
and both are super isolating as well.
That is true.
In different ways. So if you combine the two together, it's like, wow, okay, this is actually quite niche, and I don't have anybody to talk to about this. but now you do.
But yet there are hundreds of us, and now we do have people to talk to. So lots of different topics we could talk about, but shall we get right into the important question, which is, what does the word creativity mean to you?
Yes, what does that mean to me? Lots of things. This is one of those moments where I'd really like to give sound effects to my brain, because my brain right now is like... I think one of the biggest things for me is thinking differently. That sounds so cliche, but approaching the world and life in a different way to the majority of people. But then I also think everybody's creative, so it's a bit of a oxymoron. But creativity is so broad. But I do think people who go into creative jobs, for example, often have a slightly different perspective on the world, and therefore people pay them to access that perspective. Me specifically, I see myself as essentially as a problem solver. I just solve problems, whether that's in the community, I saw a problem and started a community to solve it, or whether that's as a designer where I have a client who's like, I want to communicate this, and therefore I just solve their problem in a visual way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think you're...
I haven't answered your question, so sorry.
Well, no, but there isn't. I think the thing is, I've asked lots of people on this podcast this question, and I also, whenever I do a workshop, I ask the question of the people in the room, and I get them to write it on a piece of cards, and I've collected them all in, and everyone has a completely different definition of it.
Well, that's creativity for you. There you go.
Oh, exactly. Well, yeah, and that is right. And do you know what? I hadn't thought about it like that. That actually does perfectly demonstrate the fact that nobody thinks about it in the same way, and it is all creative. But I think I obviously think we are all creative, but I think we're creative in different ways. And I also think that not everyone needs it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I think that some of us are drawn to it, and we've got things that we've maybe discovered or rediscovered, or just had all along. Some lucky people just keep going with it, don't they? And if you've got that, you need it. And if you don't have it, it just makes you sad or grumpy or whatever.
Yeah.
But some people don't need it. But they also, those people will also be creative.
Yes, they're capable of being creative, but they don't yearn it in the same... Yearn, is that the right word? Seek it out. They don't seek it out in the same way.
Yeah. And they might be more on the creative, because I talk about creative expression and creative thinking, and they might be more creative thinkers, where perhaps they are problem solvers, but in a less visual or a less outputty kind of way.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? it means different things to different people. But what's your favourite thing about being creative?
Favourite thing? Oh, I love that I can like create something out of nothing. I quite like the instant gratification of my job, for example. I've got an empty page and a couple of hours later, I don't. That's really satisfying. But also like in life, like I have a neighbour who's always telling me, he's lovely, and he's always telling me like, you're so, what's the word? I don't know. Like you take initiative and you just seem always to be like solving stuff and doing things.
Yeah.
And I love that I can like tap into my creative brain to like do stuff myself. Like I'm not to say it's always good or it always solves the problem. But I feel capable enough to, I feel like I have a brain that's designed to like at least try and give it a shot, and like maybe it'll work out horribly, but
that you see, but that's part of the process, isn't it? The actual, there's a thing, what can I do with it? Yeah. Where can I take it?
That was building some garden beds, like raised beds in my garden. I've never done that before in my life. Yeah. But I just loved the challenge of it and like the way it tapped into my creative brain. And the way I can like see shapes and how they fit together, even though I don't have any training about. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's satisfying to me.
It just kind of applies across everything.
Yeah. Whereas like you ask my husband to do the same task and he just looks blankly and like needs instructions, or do you know what I mean? It's like a very different. And to be fair, that sort of brain has its own perks, and sometimes he is the right man for the job, basically.
Well, that's it. And because we're all different, you need different people for different things.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you a question. So Lego, because I interestingly, this has come up on quite a few of the...
Yeah, I bet. The Lego debate. What? Sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No,
you talk.
Quite a few of the episodes this series. Yeah. And then actually it came up last series as well, because one of the people does the Lego serious play as well, the facilitating. And actually, I've been talking to different people about it. So are you the kind of person, and there's no right answer and you could say both, are you the kind of person who follows the kit? So like takes the thing with the instructions and just does it? Or are you the person who just gets all the pieces and goes, oh, right, I'm going to make a thing?
Yeah, the latter, for sure. I don't do instructions. Even when I've been sent a product that has instructions, I'll look at it and go, yeah. Got it, and then do the thing and then realise halfway through that one of the pieces is the wrong way round or whatever it is. I will just chuck it all, the Lego, I'll chuck it all on the floor and make something, which is interesting because my husband and my son are both the opposite of that. Yeah. So that's funny, isn't it? How like we can be very different even within our own little tiny families.
Yes. Different types of creative brains.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So you mentioned, just come back to the gardening, actually, because when I talk about creativity, I say, yes, for some people it shows up as painting or drawing or writing or whatever. But for some people, gardening is amazingly creative.
Massively creative. People underestimate how creative that is and how much hard work it is. Oh my God. So like we didn't have a garden at all ever until COVID, and we moved out of London, and that is literal honey to my creative brain. Like I absolutely love it. I'm completely addicted. It has that like gratification, but it's the opposite of instant gratification. It's like the long game, planting something now that I won't see the fruits of until next season or whatever, which is like deeply frustrating. But then when it happens, it's like the biggest high. I love it. And there's so much like visual creativity, like putting this little stick in the ground and trying to visualise what colour and what it's going to look like and how it's going to sit next to the plants next to it in 12 months time or whatever. Like, love it. Great.
And how it's, and I mean, I love it when I've seen, people I know who love gardening, who've got, at certain times of the year have beautiful colours everywhere. Yeah. And actually I went to a talk last week, in fact, where the person who was speaking is a what does she call herself? A horticultural therapist.
Yes.
And so she was talking to us about mindfulness. She brought some flowers and got us to choose one each and just to sit there and look at it and prod it and smell it. Nice. And it was fascinating. Yeah.
It is deeply, deeply satisfying and nourishing, and I love it. And everyone, like, it. Since I've had a garden and fallen in love with gardening, I'm even more angry about the fact that, like, so few people have access to their own green space, and we're still building, like, social housing with, like, no decent green. Like, it's just mad. Give people gardens. Gardens save lives.
And look beautiful as well.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's part of it, isn't it? Looking at beautiful things is good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so one of the things that I obviously talk to people about is ideas. Mm-hmm. Are you a person with lots of ideas?
Yes, I am a person with lots of ideas. Yeah, I am, absolutely. But then I feel like the older I get, the better I am at, like, telling some of those ideas to be quiet. Or not pursuing every single idea. You know, I'm sure this has come up on many other episodes, but
it has.
There's that classic, like, how many domain names do you own, you know?
Oh, yes. I mean, that pretty much comes up every single time I talk about ideas. Yeah.
So I used to have, like, 10, which is probably quite modest, actually.
That is quite modest. I had 30 at one point.
But now I have more like 5. Yeah. So for some reason I can't let those particular ones go. But yeah, lots of ideas. And, like, you know, that is a blessing and a curse, I think. I would hate, like, it makes me sad to think that there are people who don't have lots of... Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not always coming up with stuff. I find that, like, sad. But then also... it's so draining and exhausting to be the person that's constantly...
Well, especially when you... Yeah, I mean, I know people who say they don't have ideas. And,
I mean, that's also not true. Obviously, they have ideas.
Well, yes, and yes,
and then
you can...
stuff they're telling themselves there, isn't there?
But actually, sometimes some people... I think there's a difference as well, isn't there, between having an idea completely randomly that pops into your head... and having an idea that some people might think they don't have ideas, but actually they have ideas in response to things that other people say or do.
Yeah,
So somebody who says, "Oh, yeah, but I don't have ideas." If somebody says, "Oh, well, I want to do," I don't know, something. I can't think of an example now. But if somebody says to them they want to do a particular thing or put on an event or do whatever, that person goes, "Ah, yeah, well," and then they have ideas related to that thing, but they don't think they're ideas, maybe.
And, like, every idea needs those people, and I love being that person. Yeah, like when people come to me. Or even if they give me even a sniff, like say we're having, like, I'm at a play date with my kid and another parent gives me even a sniff of, like, a business idea or something they'd like to do. I'm like, oh, please tell me about that. Because I absolutely love being like a sounding board for people and going, oh, maybe you could do this, maybe you could do that. And, you know, maybe they don't want my unsolicited advice or input, but I thrive in that role. Like, I love being that person as well. Yeah.
There's something really lovely, though, isn't there, about talking to other people about their ideas and just kind of just seeing what they could do with it and them coming back with something and you saying, and then, and, you know, and occasionally you might talk yourself into doing something crazy together because you kind of, you wound each other up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, well, I was going to say, like, podcasts. I mean, how did your doing it for the kids podcast come around?
That was a combination of things. Somebody had suggested it to me. So, like, the community was very early doors. Just started a Facebook group at that time. Somebody was like, we need a podcast. You know, you should do a podcast on this subject. This would be a great podcast. And I was like, yeah. And then at the same time, me and Steve had just started this co-mentoring thing. So I have a friend, Steve, who makes a podcast with me. And at the time when I was thinking about this podcast idea, we were only just starting this process of hanging out once a month as two self-employed people and talking about our businesses and supporting each other. And at like literally, I think the first meeting maybe the second one, I was like, I've got this idea for a podcast. And you make podcast. He had podcast experience, like audio career. It's like, you make podcasts and stuff. We should make a podcast together. And, you know, a lot of people will be like, what? I barely know you. I'm not committing to being a co-host with you. But anyway, he did. So there you go. And that was like 7 years ago or something now. So, yeah.
Also, the danger of hanging out with people who do podcasts, because, I mean, that's how I ended up with one, isn't it, really? So I know too many podcast producers. But I think that's the thing about being self-employed as well, isn't it? That you can just have a random thought and try it out and just see what happens.
Yeah, that's like I was saying earlier about, like, you know, I can just do stuff on my own. That's partly why I love being self-employed, because I can think of stuff and just do it on my own most of the time and see what happens. And that's really, fun. And often, if it works, satisfying. Obviously, it's not so satisfying if it goes horribly wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, because people talk about this whole... You know, you have lots of, you know, however many failures it is before you have successes. Would you have said you'd had lots and lots of failures in things you've tried to do that haven't worked? Or do you just kind of brush them under the carpet and just block them out because it's just not fun?
I don't think I've had lots of failures per se. I think the things that I've actually brought to fruition are the ones that... I really care about and like passionately need to pursue for whatever reason. And B, turns out I'm good at doing that thing, even if I didn't know it at the time.
Yeah.
Whereas other ideas I've had just never quite make it off the ground. Like I might have bought the domain name and like made some graphics and like plotted out what the thing is. But for some reason, it's never got to a point where it could be a failure because I haven't really put it out in the world enough. I seem to stuff just seems to go on pause and then I don't really return, and I couldn't tell you why.
It's just that mysterious thing about ideas though, isn't it, that sometimes they sometimes they lurk and then they come back. And
again, like when you're self-employed, there's no one else to push you to do the thing. Yeah. So you have, like, the conditions have to be quite specific and you have to really want to pursue it. Like, I had this idea for a wedding business. And, like, it was good and probably could have been quite successful. But I didn't care enough. Like, I didn't want to do it enough. And there was no one pushing me to do it. So, therefore, it just didn't. Yeah.
It just didn't happen. And that's it, isn't it? It's about... the ones that matter,
stick around.
You find a way
exactly
to do them. But is there also, you know, I guess, is there also something about having the right people around to help that process
at the right time? And you've also got to be in the right point in your life. You've got to have the right, like finances. To start a new idea, you need to be in a position where you can take a financial risk. Do you see what I mean? So, like, there are points when I was much younger where that just wasn't an option and therefore didn't do it. Like the wedding business thing, I did not have a lot of money at that time. So, like, it had to either sink or float, and for whatever reason, I didn't do it. Whereas, if you're older and got more disposable income or whatever, you can take a financial risk on these things in a way that you can't necessarily at other points in your life. And yes, having the right people around to say, come on, great, let's go.
Well, that's it. I think some of that is and part of that is being in a community, isn't it?
Yes,
as well.
big time.
I think being able to, I mean, I was going to say we're talking about doing it for the kids here, but actually, I say that the Being Freelance community, Steve Folland's community, they're entirely responsible for the fact I published a book of doodles about penguins because I told them, I said, when I procrastinate, I draw penguins, and they all went, oh, cool. And instead of just going, it's just weird, just leave her to it, they encouraged me and I set up an Instagram account and then ended up
amazing. No regrets.
No, well, no, absolutely not. Because now I just tell people, and they either look at me like I've got 3 heads, or they go, "Oh, can I have a copy?"
Yeah. It's a good way to narrow your audience down.
That is very true. So we're talking about being creative, and obviously you're a graphic designer. Mm-hmm. What other kinds of creative things do you do? Because I know that you do other things.
For fun or for money or both?
For fun, because obviously we talked about the graphic design and the community and the podcast.
So many things. Gardening, obviously, both ornamental and vegetable, edible. I love a bit of DIY and like interiors stuff. I'm not like mad on it, but I enjoy making my house a dopamine joyous place to be. Yeah. I do art. I did art A-level, nearly went to art college, didn't. So like I do this thing where I just put paint on paper. It's just abstract, it's colours, it's random. I'm doing more of that since my kids are a bit older, and my daughter actually is really into art, so we do art together. That's really nice.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it, when you can do that?
Yeah. And then various crafting things, and then I do music. So I ended up doing music at university, and I play like various different instruments to a pretty mediocre level, but enough to have fun.
Well, yeah, to be able to do something with it.
Yeah. So my house is full of djembes and bass guitars and saxophones and
all of which you play.
Like I can make a noise with all of those things. Enough to, have a little jam with my 7-year-old kind of thing.
And actually we did a singing thing, didn't we?
Yes, we did. That's right.
A group of us went and
went to sing
K-pop Demon Hunters songs.
Yeah, Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters with 400 other grown-ups.
Oh, that was amazing.
Actual adults.
There's something very lovely about that, though, just being part of creating that wasn't there at the beginning of the evening, and by the end of it was, such a lovely noise.
So satisfying, very, very joyous. Yeah.
The other thing that we do in the Doing It for the Kids community that I started and then handed over to Sophie Roberts was the creative co-working, where we all bring a thing and just create for an hour. Yeah,
so I've painted and created more than I have in like 10 years thanks to those sessions.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I just wouldn't have made that time otherwise. And again, it's like having people cheering you on and saying, come on, do the thing, make the thing.
Well, that's
make
it. And
time for the thing.
And then you continue doing it afterwards, don't you, as well? Because it's, they're normally timed so that there's a little bit of time. And actually, if you've, do a bit of admin before you go up to school, or just carry on with the thing.
Yeah.
Because it's in flow, which is quite nice. So what would you say, what's the worst thing about being creative?
I mean, it's not necessarily being creative, but it's that like busy mind thing, isn't it? I have a very busy mind.
Yep.
And like that's amazing and I love it. And it enables me to do things and see the world in a way that other people can't. But like, it's just really tiring. And when you have a really busy creative mind and then you also create as a job, that's really intense, basically. Like there are some weeks where if I've got a really full-on client work and it's like very creatively draining, I'm dead by like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's like, therefore I'm unable to do the things I would normally be able to do with my creative brain. So like by 6 o'clock, like one of the things I love about being creative is I can look in what seems like an empty fridge and I can make a banquet for like 10 out of 2 eggs and half a cucumber. Yeah. Right? And like, I think that's an amazing creative skill. But if I've been super drained creatively during the day, I just can't, I've got nothing left after that. And in those scenarios, it can be like just incredibly exhausting.
Yeah.
Like you can't be creative all the time. You just can't. But I wouldn't change it. I would not change it. I love my brain. It's great.
Yeah. Well, I think we all have to make peace with how our brains are, don't we? And just kind of go, that's what it's like.
Yeah.
Just find a way to do the essential things, but also fit the creativity in as well.
Yeah.
So if people want to find out more about you and your work and doing it for the kids, where do they need to go?
Your best bet is doing it for the kids, all one word, .net. And from there you can link out to my personal website as well. So it's all under one roof. And I don't have to spell my full name for you because that's my other website. So doing it for the kids.net is the place to be.
Excellent. Thank you. So it's been a fascinating conversation. Thank you very much for joining me, Frankie.
Oh, so welcome. That was great. Same time next
week.
Thank you.
And that's the last episode of Series 3. So now's the time to go back and listen to any episodes you might have missed. And if you've enjoyed them, please rate, review, or tell others about the podcast. Thank you for listening to Creative Conversations. I'm Nina Lenton. I'm an untangler and coach, and you can find out more about my work and this podcast at ninalenton.co.uk.